Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to get into Taehyung or V's new song 9 Feet Under and what we believe to be called 9 Feet Under, and why people are comparing the lyrics to another artist. I also want to get into the rumors and theories of the staff and people believing they sold private BTS information and pics. So hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Go grab the dumpling, tea-spilling mug merch, and let's get into it. The first thing that I wanted to get into and talk about is the song 9 Feet Under, or as I said, what we believe to be named that. Taehyung obviously has been on his extended break, but to say he has actually taken a break from music, I don't think this is true. I think he is currently in the studio and or writing stuff for his solo mixtape. All the boys will likely have a solo mixtape coming out very soon, and we should all definitely be looking forward to hearing it and seeing the mixtapes, as they will all be very different and possibly even different genres. Taehyung's voice is great for pop, but his voice is definitely more suited to jazz and ballads, which I am hoping he does more of in his mixtape. He previously released a song on Instagram where I believe he was somewhere on the road driving in his convertible, and he was playing what sounded like a recorded track of his voice, and he was also singing along. By the way, I have never heard audio that clear before. Like, someone was probably recording on a phone and you heard like no wind. How? But people were freaking out because it sounded so good, and then people realized that his mixtape is closer than we all think. Just a couple hours ago, Taehyung released a solo song which we believe is called 9 Feet Under, as that is the last phrase he said before the chorus ends. But however, we don't even know if this is the chorus because the snippet is like 40 seconds. But of course, this is enough to drive people crazy and make people talk about the song. Almost immediately after the song was posted, his voice started trending online and people were freaking out how good he sounds. Of course, then the topic of the lyrics came up, since everything we have heard so far has been in English, so it's cool that he is writing English lyrics. The line that is probably the most talked about is the last phrase. He says, "Since you're not here, lost my only light, I am all by myself 9 feet under." I was interpreting this lyrics to mean that Taehyung is all alone because this woman has left him and he will be all alone when he is dead. Typically, people don't get buried 9 feet under. It was 6 feet before, and now I believe it's only 4 feet. What I am about to say is a complete conspiracy or theory to what I think the lyrics mean. But I believe there was a phrase a while ago that was like, if you're a bad person, you get buried 12 feet under. And we all tend to think of ourselves as not great people. I mean, I think I'm not the best person. I have flaws, and I have sinned, and I have vices as well. But also knowing that I am not the worst person in the world, so maybe I wouldn't be buried at 12 feet under, but maybe 9. This could also mean that maybe in the rest of the song, Taehyung talks about the reason why this woman doesn't love him anymore. That it could have been his fault for being bad to her, and that he will spend all of eternity making it right. I hope he does that in the song, because that would be such a beautiful song and very meaningful, as we probably all think back to an old relationship and feel like there was definitely more that we could have done to be a better person to them, but maybe the right person, wrong time type of thing. Now, that was just some information about how I feel the song and the direction, and I think it could go. It might not even be done yet. But an army took that lyric and they compared it to this really famous Irish singer, Hoyser. Now, Hoyser has a song called Work Song. It's a really beautiful song that takes my breath away every time I hear it. And there's a lyric that goes, "No grave can hold my body down, I'll crawl home to her." And basically said that Taehyung's song was giving Hoyser vibes. This tweet was not anything negative. This tweet was simply comparing two beautiful songs. And the tweet went viral, and so many then started asking for a collab between Taehyung and Hoyser, or just talked about how beautiful both songs sound. But of course, there's always people who think that the two songs are similar in a really bad meaning way. But art is inspiration from other artists, and when you take a feeling that you get from listening to a track and then you take that feeling and write your own interpretation of it, that is not copying or stealing. That is simply inspiration and something so beautiful. Two songs can have the same meaning and lyrics that can mean something similar. By the way, I don't think the lyrics are too similar because we still haven't heard the entire song. Taehyung's song. Choruses can change meaning depending on the verses, and with some songs that are so well written, the chorus can change meaning by the end of the song, as in the first chorus means something different from the last one even though they're the same words. I can't really think of an example right now. But yeah, let's wait and see how the rest of the song plays out. I would also definitely be excited to see a Hoyser and Taehyung collab. There were people who were mad that Hoyser and Taehyung might not ever collab, and that makes me sad too. I think they're both really good vocalists, and they both can really paint a stunning visual in our head with their music and lyrics. While I'm a big fan of just fun and happy pop music, I'm even more of a fan of music where the lyrics take you to a place you have never been before. A lot of BTS's older music definitely does that. Jungkook's Euphoria does that for me. Halsey's Badland album also does that and makes you nostalgic of a life you never had. This is one of my favorite things about music and being able to slip into the romantic parts of people's lives and see the good and the bad. Artists like BTS who sing about mental health, abuse, and all of those sort of things let us feel those moments and empathize with how BTS feels, even though most of it was just a story. And let's be real, it's 2022. We are more likely to recognize the abuse that we get now, so a lot of us can relate to it. I can't wait to hear more of this song and more from Taehyung in general. If you have heard it, then please let me know what your favorite lyrics so far is and how the song makes you feel. It is very important to an artist that the song feels fresh and new and at the same time relatable. These are usually things they will have to ask the people around them for. BTS don't really make relationship songs, but if they did, they would have to draw inspiration from a show or ask the staff for advice because as far as we know, they don't date. So their staff needs to be people they can trust and people they can ask advice for. ARMYs and fans were very upset when they thought that one of the big hit staffs was betraying BTS or trying to make BTS look bad. There was a moment in September where BTS logged on to talk to ARMY and they were all there. It was in a hotel room, and while they were all happy to stream and all had their food there, the internet connection was not great. So they were cutting in and out. Y'all remember that stream, right? Apparently it was seen recently that during the stream, there was a staff member going through their phone and going through websites, and it was caught in the corner of the stream and later apparently blurred out. This caught backlash because people were saying that it appeared that the staff was going on negative forums, like forums that attack BTS, and that maybe this staff was responsible for leaked photos before they come out and responsible for leaking private information to sabotage BTS. Now, aside from the fact that even if you look at the non-blurred images or the staff scrolling through their phone, you can't see what website they're on. Other than that, it's not uncommon for the staff or marketing team to look up forums and questions and things for BTS to address during the stream, or look at the negative feedback and see how they can improve. I am personally not aware of these forums, but of course BTS staff is going to know. Also, given that the internet was going in and out, the staff could have been wondering if anything was going to be written about their poor connection. But all those theories aside, I want to explain the industry a little bit more, which was a point I never saw anywhere online. Being a BTS staff or working at a music label, even as a janitor or maintenance staff, is ridiculously hard. The industry does not let just anyone in the building. They usually hire from a company, and it's usually the people with the most experience in that position. Meaning if it was a BTS marketing staff member or publicist, this person would have been working in the entertainment industry for years and have worked their way up to getting that position, working with the biggest boy band in the world. Getting that job is not the same as just waltzing in the nearest fast food restaurant and applying. You need years of experience, references, and proof that you know how to manage and grow a boy group. And that person with all this experience and passion for what they do, they're just going to throw all of that out the window because since this staff was born, their only mission in life was to take down BTS. If they did intend to do something like this to hurt BTS, they would have to have in their mind that if they got caught, they would never be able to work in this industry ever again. Because everyone in the industry talks, and who is going to trust someone who leaks private information? This rumor continued to push further when events like Jungkook bleaching his hair blonde got leaked by someone, and people assumed that the only people who could have leaked that was like BTS staff. It could have also been a news reporter that broke in, paparazzi for example. It's so weird that people turn on the staff so quickly when it's rarely their fault. Let me know what you think, and if you want to see more K-pop reaction videos, go to my Patreon, link below. I can't post them here due to copyright, but you can get all sorts of reaction videos and requests. It's a great way to support the channel even more if you would like to. Thank you so much for this lovely comment right here. I love you so much. There will be some videos that will pop up on screen at the end of this video, and I'll see you over there. Bye.